Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Keith Mitchell. I'm your host, coming back to you again on the Chosen One TV. We're also associated with the Charlotte Gospel Music Videos. And today we have a very interesting, intriguing young lady from Brooklyn, New York, Miss Crystal Marinia. Hello, Crystal.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm fine. I'm blessed and highly favored, and I can see you are too.
Yes, sir.
Today we want to, dive into the experience of your son who has passed away. He passed in November the 18th of 2021.
Yes, sir.
His name was Sammy Millhouse, also known as Drip
Sosa.
Sosa. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, Drip Sosa. He was an artist out of the state of New York. Had a love and a passion for rap music, hip hop music, and he met an untimely death and committed suicide.
A lot of emotions here in Crotona Park this afternoon as loved ones gathered to remember Sammy Jules Dominique Millhouse. Today would have been his 27th birthday. A NYC Parks employee found Millhouse's body floating near the shoreline of Indian Pond here inside Crotona Park. He was pronounced dead when EMS retrieved his body. Police tell us there was no signs of trauma. Millhouse's mother tells us he had a passion for rap and was also known at his rap name Drip Sosa. Before his death, he posted his music video Home Sweet Home on YouTube. Loved ones gathered in a prayer circle after throwing roses into the pond where he was found, hoping his spirit lives on. Millhouse leaves behind two sons, 8 and 5 years old. His mother says the phone call she received notifying his death still haunts her to this day.
Mommy did it. Mommy made you into a rock legend because no matter where I go, you're going to be with me. Right here. He got one half, and I got the other.
So I think we'll just dive into it and have a conversation, not just about his passing, but about his life while he was here, the things he loved, his passions. Also, we will dive into, some of the things that you're doing in your community where you've built a presence in helping other people find a true path to the light of God and the Word of God. So if you'd like to share a little bit about your journey and your son and his experience, I would love to hear more from you.
Well, thank you. My son was my firstborn child. I had him when I was 17 years old. And he was really a good kid. I never really knew that he was struggling with some issues in life, but he always covered it with his music. So when he picked up the talent of rapping, he just stuck to it. And then that's when I started to get to know my son a little bit more. He started with his suicidal. I can't really say how long he dealt with suicidal thoughts, but he started attempting them at 14 years old. So up until his death, he battled that for 12 years. So in the midst of it, like I went from dealing with my sweet son and loving son to dealing with somebody that would do a flip mode on me. And I didn't know who I was dealing with. You understand? So it was like a love-hate relationship with my son. Not that I hated my child, but it was what was being thrown at me, and I'm the mom, so I got it the worst.
Right. Wow.
So it was like a 50-50 type of situation with him. Like 50% it was good, 50% it was bad. Right. And even until his passing, we wasn't even speaking because at that point I had to kind of like stand my ground as the mom, and I had to put my feelings first because I got tired of the abuse. Not that he was we had two fights, but not that he was a physically abusive type of person, but it was just, I got tired of that verbal.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And those
Right.
words hurt so bad, but then you have to learn how to, this is when God come in, and I forgave my son, because I've read in the Bible, if somebody wrong you 7 times, you forgive them 77. So I'm like, if I can forgive people in the street, why can't I forgive somebody that I pushed out?
Right. Right. Because
So I
we
forgave.
recognize that kind of behavior is demonic behavior.
Yeah,
It's a spirit that is a living spirit that reigns here on earth. And so
yeah,
you're not the first and you won't be the last person who
yeah,
has become a victim of evil, negative spirits. But go on.
yes. And so even when you saying about that, I had to, like, really, that last time when we got into it, I had to really stop and look at my son to understand that that wasn't my son. That was that demonic spirit that
Correct.
had a hold of him. You
Correct.
understand? That caused him to be in such a way.
Right.
So thank God I have God in me for me to be able to recognize that, because no, I didn't want to hurt my child, but I still had to protect me if it
Right.
led to something like that. Thank God
Right.
it didn't, because I saw in his eyes that that wasn't my son. So
Right.
once I did that, then I was able to get the police involved to just get him removed from the home, but nothing happened. He didn't get arrested, anything like that.
So,
But
so excuse me. What was he? Was he dealing drugs or using drugs? Was this the tool that could
he
have
wound
been?
up he wound up getting introduced to meth.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that explains the behavior.
Mm-hmm.
That
It got worse.
explains the part to where your communication with him, you you wasn't on his level.
No.
And you know, people who get strung out on drugs, they don't care who they manipulate or
Mm-hmm.
use or abuse. It's the drug. So yeah, you at
Yeah.
that point, you were not dealing with your son. You were just dealing
Right.
with the human being who was being controlled by a substance, and that
Mm-hmm.
substance is way stronger than anyone's mental,
Yep.
physical capacity to do the right thing, to respect you, to honor your spiritual aptitude. In reference to Sammy's music and when did his little rap career kind of begin? How old was he when he first started in the rap?
Um, let's say maybe around 16, 17, he
Okay.
started picking it up.
So
And
was he still in school? Was he still going to school when he started flirting with the rap music?
yes, he still was going to school, and up until they wasn't able to go anymore, but he was going to school, and he was into that rap. And every time you turn around, he always had the headphones and the pen and the paper to him, and he'll send me all his music and say, "Ma, how you like this or how you like that?" And I always love his music. I was his number one fan. He
Of
has a
course.
song that he made before he died. It's called "Home Sweet Home," and I love it. I love it
Right.
so much. And I really want to try to make that the anthem for suicidal victims, because I feel like it has a message in it for people that are battling privately,
Right.
and
Right.
hopefully whatever they can get out of it, and maybe that can motivate them to continue to stay here, because
Yeah.
Sammy was molested as a child, and this is why
Wow.
it played with his life. You understand,
Wow.
his lifestyle. You know, he
Okay.
fought through a lot of that because he didn't want to live as a gay man. You
Right.
understand? So
Okay.
it's like, and then he has children. So it's
Right.
like he
Wow.
was, yeah, so he was really fighting a battle. And I just feel like the devil took my son out of here. Some people get upset and they be mad with God. I never once was mad with God, because
No.
I don't feel like God took my son. I
No.
feel like the devil got a hold of my baby because of
Yeah.
the fact that he knew that he was emotionally and mentally weak.
Right. Well,
Whew.
those drugs, you know, they the drugs turn the human mind into something totally else. The drug kind of takes away our capacity to have
Hmm.
control over our flesh. And our
Yes.
flesh starts having the desire for the drug. The Spirit of God, He has nothing to do. All we're doing when you use drugs is you're hindering your opportunity to connect with God and to let God be the guide in your life, taking you in the direction where you need to be. Because at the end of the day, when you birthed him into the world, he had a purpose, but it was
Yeah.
God's purpose. And
Right.
he gave us that free moral will where we make choices. And going down that road with those choices, a lot of times uh, we lose our connection with him in
Hmm.
pursuit of what we might call our dream. And then while we're on that path, we feel like things ain't happening when you want them
Right.
to. But it's still his path. It's still God's path.
Right.
He never leaves us. It's just that he's a selfish, jealous God, our
Hmm.
God, Jesus Christ, and he wants our attention and
Yeah.
he wants our love. And that's
Yes.
all he wants. That's all he stands for. And so when drug comes along and gets your mind cloudy where you have no presence of mind to worship him, to praise him, to
Right.
glorify him, to understand who you are, that his spirit is housed in you and you can
Hmm.
call on him and he can save you. Well, this
Yes.
this man called Jesus and God, them two people are not gonna come running to save your life. They'll
Right.
save your life if you want your life to be saved.
Right.
We have to come to him.
That's
And
right.
it's difficult for your sons or any mother's son or daughter to have to face the use of drugs and can make that intelligent decision to get to
Right.
know God and to allow God to lead and guide their lives. But it's truly a tragedy
Yeah.
that you had to deal with. But it's a blessing that you have other kids that keep you whole and you
Yeah.
can inject yourself into their lives and their paths. So, can you tell me a little bit about your ministry and your goal by taking his music and sharing it with others? Do you have like a track on what I like to do this and then I want to do that and then hopefully I can is there a story that you'd like to share on how you plan to utilize his death in a positive way to get to those other youth because right now in our communities we're drowned by deaths of
No.
suicide with younger people who
Yeah.
don't have a center and for me, the center is God. So at a
Right.
young age, if you don't have a relationship with God, Satan is totally coming at you from
Right.
all ways to steal, kill, and destroy. So
Right.
have you put together a thought process of how you want to build your foundation to make a movement with help?
Well, what I like to do is to start I really want to open up an organization where people can come to like a safe house
Okay.
and they'll get some good treatment, food, whatever it is that they need. But in between, in the meantime, what I do is I use my social platform. So, like, if I'm feeling sad or what I'm feeling about my son' death, I will start speaking and I
Okay.
start venting about it because I want people to understand how deep and how unbearable this pain is. So, when I do that, that gives other mothers that lost children, period, not
Hmm.
just suicide, it gives them the courage to come to me to either comment on my page or they will hit me privately because they would like to communicate with me to help
Awesome.
them. You understand?
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
I do a lot of behind the scenes with people with saving their
Okay.
lives. And I felt like I needed to like do that because I held in my son's issues for 12 years.
Okay.
And I felt like I couldn't hold it in any longer. So I started letting it out. So by me letting it out, and I saw how the crowd started coming to me, that's how I found the joy in it. So
Gotcha.
that's what I do for right now. But I do
Okay.
plan on writing a few books of my own, and I do plan on doing a documentary about my life and my son, because I've experienced so many things without drugs, sex, and alcohol. And a lot of people always complaining about, oh, I can't stop this because of that, or I can't stop this because of this. And one thing that my pastor has said in church: once your heart is made up, it's easy for
Hmm.
your mind to walk away. So
Right.
once he told me that, that stuck with me. And once I
Right.
got God in me wholeheartedly, I was ready to make a change. You
Okay.
understand?
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother topic. But
But one
what
other question I want to ask is, with the music, did the music get recorded, and is it in a position where you'll be able to release it to the public and have it distributed?
honestly, sir, I don't know anything about this stuff with the music. I just know I
Oh,
got
okay.
my baby song, and I don't even, he has a couple of songs, but this one song in particular is my goal.
Gotcha.
Whew. And I don't know where to begin, where to start. I spoke to a couple of people, but nothing really set in stone. But once again, I'm really confused and lost in that area. So I
Gotcha.
don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so one little piece of advice I could tell you, there's a website called DistroKids. Okay, distrokids.com.
Okay.
And DistroKids will enable you uh DistroKids will enable you to distribute the music once you get it into a professional recording where it's been mixed and mastered. Then
Okay.
you can take that version of the song, whether if it's his voice on it or you get some other young rappers to rap on it with him, save a piece of his voice that can be used in there to
Mhm.
collaborate, and that song could be distributed by you
Okay.
on DistroKids. And DistroKids is a world distribution. So
Okay.
it might cost you 79, $80 to
Okay.
register with DistroKids. But before you do that, you need to get the music version of the song that you want to perform, um, through presenting it to the world. You need to get with a studio there somewhere, and there, there's a whole bunch of young people. Any of his friends from his
Yeah.
past relationships, you should be able to go to them, and I'm sure they would want to be involved in something where the
Yes.
song is being more professionally produced, so
Yeah.
that when you do play it on the radio, it can stand up to the other songs that are playing on the radio. But
Yes, sir.
what I want you to know is, by yourself, with a few dollars, you could distribute and release that
Okay.
single. And
Okay.
but you got to do some reading, you got to do some studying, some homework, because
Yes.
music is no longer uh, just the people in the high rises in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was a
Yes.
day and time you'd have to have a record deal. Well, you don't need a record deal. You just need knowledge.
Right.
And so, go to DistroKids and do a little homework. And I'd reach out to some of his, road dogs that helped him, uh, you know,
I will.
perfect his art and his craft. And that can begin to be a tool that you can use to make the vision of what you want to do for him and others through the music path.
Right.
You can make it come to life. So, Crystal,
Yes.
I understand you're involved with a nonprofit organization that is planning a benefit, just because we care, uh, with Miss Georgia Miller,
Yes, sir.
and that's going to be on September the 18th.
Yes, sir. In Columbia, South Carolina.
Awesome, awesome,
And it's about
awesome.
teen suicide prevention.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay,
It's
awesome.
going to be pretty
So,
good for the community.
okay. will people see you in South Carolina as well?
I'm really not sure if I'm making it this trip, but I'm trying my hardest.
Okay.
But if I'm not able to, but it's going to be amazing because the one I went to last year was bomb. It was amazing. It was
Awesome.
amazing. Mhm.
Okay. Well, hopefully they can zoom you in or something, but your face needs to be in the place,
Oh,
no matter what.
Mr. Sam
Yeah.
Pugh is so great. I love him for this.
Yeah, Sam
What he's
is
doing for the community is
Sam
excellent.
is
because
blessed. He's a
they
blessed
need
brother.
that.
And he's continually blessing individuals here and
Yes.
there and all over the globe. So
All over. Yes,
God
sir. He
continue
is.
to strengthen him and guide him. And we look forward to supporting you, Crystal, and
Thank you.
blessings with you and your family. And stay prayed up, stay powered up.
Yes, sir.
So that's the secret. Your love walk with God is the one walk in life that counts.
That's right.
And you stay close to him. You give him the praise. You lift his name up. Put a
Yes.
little prayer on everything.
Yes, sir. I
All
sure
right.
do.
Well,
I thank you for this opportunity, and I am so honored, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Glad to have you here on the Chosen One TV, of course. The one and only Sam Pugh is the director, producer,
Yes.
all of the above, and Charlotte Gospel Music Videos. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'ma keep on loving you until you love 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 I think it's time to go home. I think it's time to go home. I ran away high and came home low. I swear it's nothing like home sweet home. No, I won't forget where I came from. I think it's time to put my city on. Like Young Jeezy, I put on for my city. I put on for my city. I put on for my city.
No need to feel despair, living all alone. God will meet you on the road. He'll never leave you on your own. Make the sacrifice today and learn to love and pray. Ask him to forgive cause you wanna live. It's time to deal with the Lord. Jesus' love is in your heart, every part as you are. He wants you to give, he wants you to live. He'll give you all.